In today's video, I will show you how to use the ChatGPT API. For the rest of this tutorial, I will be using Postman, which is a free API client that you can download so that you can easily follow along. Once we have everything set up, this is what the final result will look like. We can type in any prompt we want. In this case, I'm asking ChatGPT to create a JavaScript dictionary with 5 random names, and once I hit send to make the API request, you can now see the results that came back, and here you can see 5 randomly generated names. We can also ask ChatGPT to do other things such as generate images or fix spelling mistakes, which I'll show examples later in this video. Also, before we start, I'll be leaving a link in the description where you can download a file completely for free that will allow you to easily import all of the API requests that I make during this tutorial. And if you want to support my channel so I can continue making great content, please consider purchasing the files for whatever price you like. To get started, we can just go to the ChatGPT API documentation. Once you're on this page, just log in or sign up for an account. Then we can click in the top right and then click on View API Keys. On this page, we'll be generating an API key. So we can just do that by clicking this button that says Create New Key. Then copy this API key that you see here as we'll be needing it for later. Once you have that value saved, hit OK, then click on Documentation. If we look toward the bottom, we should see API Reference, and then there's an Introduction section. Just click on that. If we scroll down a little bit more, we should see a section called Making Request. Click on this button just to copy this curl command. Switch over to Postman. In the top right, just click on File, Import, then Raw Text. Paste in the curl that we just copied, hit Continue, and then Import. There's just one change we have to make. If we click on headers, where you see the words your API key, just paste in the API key that we generated from earlier. So I'll just do that now. If we click on body, we can see that this is the body that we'll be setting as part of the API request. If we look at the prompt, we can see that we're just going to be asking ChatGPT to save this as a test. And so when I hit send, if we look at the result, we can see that in the text, this is like the answer that we get back from ChatGPT, and it's letting us know that this is indeed a test. If we go back to the documentation, we can see under the guide section a different type of request we can make to ChatGPT. The example I just showed you was a text completion example, and the example that I showed earlier in this video was a code completion example. For the next API call, I will show you how to generate images using ChatGPT. If we scroll down to the API reference section and then click on images, here we can see more information about creating an image using ChatGPT. So just like before, we can just copy this curl command that they have as an example. Then if we switch over to Postman and just repeat the same steps like we did before to import this curl command, so say continue, then import. Click on the headers and make sure to update your API key just like we did before, then click on body. For this example, we'll be generating an image of a cute baby sea otter. So if we hit send, for the result, we get back 2 different URLs, and if we just hover over it and just follow the link by doing command and then clicking it, we can see the image of an otter that was generated for us by ChatGPT. Going back to Postman, we can change this prompt to something else just to see another result. So in this case, I'll just do cow. Hit send. Now we'll just open up the first URL just like I did last time. And we can see that this is the image that was generated for us by ChatGPT. The last type of ChatGPT API call I want to show has to relate to edits. If we go back to the documentation and click on edits, if we look at the example provided, we can see that for the input, we're going to type in a sentence that's purposely misspelled, and then for the instructions, we're going to tell ChatGPT to fix the spelling mistakes. Just like before, just copy the curl command and import it to Postman, and make sure to update your API key in the headers. Once you have all that set up, just hit send. And if we look at the result, we can see that ChatGPT fixed our spelling mistake for us. Another variation of this API call is that it can also translate the input to a different supported language. In this case, I just typed in I'd like to eat food and I instructed it to translate to Spanish. And if I hit send, you can see the result has been translated to Spanish for us. And that is the end of this ChatGPT API tutorial. If you found this video helpful, please like the video and don't forget to subscribe for more great content.